So I thought today we'd look at some of the batshit stuff that happens on LinkedIn, because some of it's a good laugh, some of it's downright crazy, some of it gets me angry, but some of it's just funny. That people would do this, that people would make this mistake, that people would think this is a good idea. So I thought we'd look at some stuff. So this is one of my favorite ones. I talk about this one a lot in my workshops when I'm talking to people. On LinkedIn, you've got this update your experience, and everybody has made the mistake of updating their experience, and it's sending out a gazillion notifications, and you're getting that, oh, well done, congratulations, all that stuff, right? Well, this one here, somebody's obviously, the poor guy's died, right? So Tom's died, he's passed on. And one of his family members has gone, how do I shut this thing down? How do I deal with this? I know, I'll update my experience. And of course, it's pinged out. Kind of, I'm happy to share. I'm now starting a position as deceased at none. Oh, can you imagine that? I mean, I bet you somebody sent congratulations and sent him a pitch at the same time. I bet you somebody's done that, right? It's so sad, but at the same time, it's funny that this can kind of happen. So rest in peace, Tom, but whoever did this probably, can you imagine how horrible a person would feel who's made this mistake on LinkedIn? And instead of getting like apologies, sympathies and all this stuff, some people have literally congratulated him on a new role. Oh, sorry, Tom, but it is funny. It is funny. You can make light of it, and I bet Tom would laugh at it at the same time. He wouldn't sit there going, what have you done? He'd be laughing as well. So I think that, that's a case of somebody not really getting how to use LinkedIn. Okay, this is kind of mocking a lot of the stuff that's on LinkedIn. There's a lot of people posting bullshit. And actually, if you take some of the most popular posts and take like 3 or 4 sentences from it, put it in the search, you can find out that people are just sharing the same post. It's not their experience. But I like this one. The length of a LinkedIn post is directly proportional to the amount of bullshit in it. There's so much like life advice and inspirational advice being churned out on LinkedIn. And it's not actual advice that somebody wants to share. They've just figured out that will work well. And I think that's pretty lame. I think it's pretty lame when you're kind of sharing stuff because it will work, not because it's something you want to do. I mean, who am I to say this? I'm an emotional poster. I only post what I feel. But there is a lot of people who will just post whatever will work. I don't make sense of that, but I think this is really funny because it is true. There's a lot of bullshit on LinkedIn. So let me find another one that could be quite funny. Let's see what we got here. This one here, right? This is a classic copy and paste template that people are doing just to get attention. My 4-year-old froze on stage at her first ballet recital. I failed, she told me after the show. I looked at her heartbroken with tears in my eyes. No, I failed you. But today, you've given me more than I could ever ask for. You gave me a sad kid story post on LinkedIn. This is a classic thing that people do. There's a lot of sad kid stories on LinkedIn. Often, a lot of them are just copied and pasted from somebody else, and they just do the rounds. But it's like, she says, little kid says, link what? LinkedIn, I replied, a place where depressing personal anecdotes involving imaginary children are posting and mined for engagement in order to boost one's own professional identity. Oh, yes, that's true, right? And I've seen this one do the rounds a few times. I've also seen stories like this be genuinely shared, not to mock the thing, but actually people sharing ridiculous stories like this. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like this where it's like people sharing stuff that's just not genuine. My God, this is a classic example of like kind of rage baiting, but also cringe baiting. And cringe baiting on LinkedIn is massive. Like people will say things and do things that are totally surreal, totally unrealistic just for engagement. So, hey, check this out in Croatia. You know you're seriously into marketing when you're on vacation, ditch everyone at the beach and drive an hour to a co-working space to work. Just because you're so passionate about what you do. Hope I'm not the only one. Come on. Come on. If you're on holiday, I've been on holiday. If you've got work to do, there's plenty of spaces you can go. You don't need to drive an hour. But nobody goes on holiday and then says, oh, do you know what? Because I enjoy it so much, I'm going to sit in a co-working space. You might, and I've done this, I had bits and pieces I have to do whilst I'm away, and I'll lock myself away in the hotel room or somewhere like that. But come on, this is totally stupid. It's kind of rage bait, stroke cringe bait mixed together, where it just provokes people because it's it's just silly. It's just silly. It's just attention seeking. And it's just pathetic. You know, when you're in your own little world and you're kind of oblivious to the fact that everything else is going on, this guy kind of is there. Open to work for good pay and benefits. Employer must be willing to hire a white man. DEI BS will not be tolerated by me. Leftist companies need not respond. Like, okay, you must have a world-amazing skill here. You must be able to change the world. Are you the most foremost engineer in XYZ? Because you didn't tell me, so obviously people know what you do, but you seem to have very big preferences. I've got a feeling if this is how you communicate, you're probably going to be open for work for a good deal of time. This is just it. This is the pinnacle of total cringe, rage bait, the worst of LinkedIn. This is it. You know, don't get me wrong. I love LinkedIn, right? YouTube has horrific comments. TikTok has horrific comments. Twitter is just angry. LinkedIn has this cringy stuff that happens, right? Instagram, everything's fake, visuals, the works, right? I just peed myself in public. No, not because I had to go and there wasn't a bathroom close. There was one within range. Sometimes you just have to put yourself in tough situations to overcome adversity. What a load of bollocks. This is just freaking attention. This is what's wrong with society, right? We value any attention rather than focused, the right attention. We are so desperate to have approval that we will say ridiculous bullshit. It's like, what are you doing? You are not credible doing this. You're trying to play the scandal spectacle thing to get attention. It's like, oh my God, grow up, people. Grow up. Yes, get attention, but get attention for something valuable, not because you are giving advice to people to wet themselves in public so that they learn adversity. What an idiot. Here's another dick. What you see, $100 a night hotel in Singapore. What I see, a prime networking opportunity. We are not the same. For sake, right? I will get attention any way I choose because I'm so needy for attention. Are we seriously saying it's got to be a guy? It's got to be a guy, this, right? So what he's basically saying is, I'm going to creep into people's bedrooms. I'm going to try and talk to people in their bedrooms and not respect their privacy because I'm fucking weird. And I need dopamine attention and approval. It doesn't matter if they think I'm an idiot. I will get the attention because I need the attention. This is bollocks. And people do this, and then other people go, oh, maybe I should do that because that's what will get me. And the whole of society, dramatization, the whole of society is basically craving approval from other people. And we do ridiculous things like that to make ourselves feel better. But it's a spiral because we'll reward him by getting angry on this and commenting on it and doing whatever, or some people will see it as a joke, whatever. He will get the reward of putting this ridiculous stuff out, and he will get the general public engaging with him, which will reward him to want to do it again. But next time he'll have to take it further and further and further. And this is the way it goes when you're so eager for attention. You will do anything. That kind of spiral will just keep going. And this kind of stuff basically degenerates for platforms because then you get people who are actually sharing something valuable, something that they think will help people, something that they believe in, and it won't get rewarded because all of this crazy stuff is kind of taking all the oxygen out of the room. Have you seen some crazy stuff? Why don't you screenshot some of it and send it to me? Because I love doing these videos. I am going to do some videos about good stuff I see on LinkedIn as well. But I think having a look at these and seeing what planet are people on is just really cool. So if you like this video, tell me which one was the most ridiculous. Give me your rant below. And don't forget to subscribe.